He was cunning, he was evil, he was perfect. He was despicable.
Directed by Pierre Coffin, Kyle Balda, produced by Chris Meledandri, PGA, Janet Healy, PGA. Written by Brian Lynch. Executive producer Chris Renaud. Now the minions follow young Gru. Stewart bumps into him and Gru shoos them away. The minions mimic his movements. Gru repeatedly kicks his feet and the minions tumble into a pile. Production and character design by Eric Guillaume. Edited by Claire Dodson. Scored by Hayito Pereira. Gru peels a banana. Kevin, Bob, Stewart, and other minions swarm Gru. He runs away. Norbert trips, then moves Starfish from his groin to his chest. Computer graphics supervisors, Frank Baradat, Antonin Seydoux. Associate producers, Robert Taylor, Brett Hoffman. Production supervisor, Natalie Van Cowenberg. Art director, Olivier Adam. Bob walks on the stretched mechanical legs. Gru follows with minions clung to each of his mechanical legs. Animation directors, Bruno Dequier, Pierre Leduc. Supervising animators, Pierre Avon, Simone Couchenier, Luc Desgardins, Christophe Delisle, Jonathan Delval, Audrey Phobie, Ludovic Savanier, Emmanuel Vernier. With bathing materials, Gru, Kevin, Stewart, and Bob sneak up on Kyle as he sleeps. Stewart takes a photo. Kyle wakes up and attacks Gru. Crowd supervisor, Elizabeth Pate. Animation technical supervisors, Christelle Jolin, Laurent Delachapelle. Character supervisors, Workflow, Ali Hamdan. The minions spot a portrait of a large-nosed woman. Using paint, they add glasses, green armpit hair, a goofy tongue, long arms, and a red afro. Gru approaches. He draws on a curly yellow mustache, then mocks the woman in the portrait. She arrives behind him. The minions point at Gru. Modeling, Jerome Gordon, David Galante. Surfacing, Adrian Borzakian. Rigging, Mathieu Lemure, Pierre-André Pericot. Bob hugs Gru's leg, followed by Kevin and Stewart. The entire minion tribe piles on top of them. Smiling, Gru pokes his head from the pile. Character effects, David Rodriguez. Hair and fur, Natalie Bonin. Set supervisors, modeling, Francois Launay. Rigging, Nicholas Bryce, Guillaume Boudeville. Surfacing, Fabienne Pollock. Set dressing, Florence Puzzola, Laura Giardini. Story supervisor, Dave Rosenbaum. Layout supervisor, Guy Laurent Holmesy. Technical layout supervisors, Valerie Gabriel, David Suarez. Lighting and compositing supervisor, Nicholas Brack. Effects supervisor, Milo Ricaron. Stereo supervisor, John R.A. Benson. Stereo compositing supervisor, Benoit Philippon. Pipeline supervisors, Pierrick Broek van Dam, Damien Valentin. Head of technology, Bruno Mahe. Illumination MacGuff Senior Executive, Jacques Bled. Character animation and computer graphics provided by Illumination MacGuff. Illumination MacGuff Head of Production, Christelle Balcon. Assistant computer graphics supervisors, Jérôme Arthries, David Pellet, Quentin Ricci. Cast, Sandra Bullock as Scarlet Overkill. John Hamm as Herb Overkill. Michael Keaton as Walter Nelson. Allison Janney as Madge Nelson. Steve Coogan as Professor Flux. Steve Coogan as Tower Guard. Jennifer Saunders as the Queen. Jeffrey Rush as narrator. Steve Carell as Young Gru. Pierre Coffin as the Minions. Katie Mixon as Tina. Michael Beatty as VNC announcer. Michael Beatty as Walter Jr. Hiroyuki Sanada as Sumo Villain. Dave Rosenbaum as Fabrice. Alex Dowding as Royal Advisor. Paul Thornley as News Reporter. Additional voices, Ava Akers, Louis McLeod, Carlos Alazraki, Danny Mann, Lori Allen, Mona Marshall, Kyle Balda, Gary Martin, Daniel Barker, Mickey McGowan, Bob Bergen, Lorraine Newman, Melanie Bond, Andy Nyman, James J. Cummings, Alexander Polinsky, John Keigan, Jan Robson, Brian T. Delaney, Chris Ragland, Bill Farmer, Zachary Rice, Keith Ferguson, Cole Sand, Ellen Frazier, Mindy Sterling, Jess Harnell, Tara Strong, Charlie Hayes, Will Vanderpool, Eve Karpf, James Kevin Ward, John Cassier, Colette Whitaker, Sherry Lynn, James Daniel Wilson, Associate Editor Tiffany Hilkertz, First Assistant Editors Prakesh Patel, Lisa Shaw Phillips, Second Assistant Editors Rachel Brennan, Tom Walters, Additional Editor Ken Schretzman, Editorial Production Supervisors Stephanie DeMatis, Alex Dowling, Story Artist Didier Akum, Antoine Torre, Marco Allard, Sergei Kuchnarov, Eric Delbecq, Habib Luati, Nolan Roberts. Soundtrack on Backlot Music, Happy Together, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, Aura Lee, 19th Nervous Breakdown, The Saint from the series The Saint, Bewitched, The Dating Game, Ride of the Valkyries, I'm a Man, Break On Through to the Other Side, Make 'Em Laugh, Purple Haze, Peter and the Wolf Opus 67 Allegro, Hair from the film Hair, Rule Britannia, You Really Got Me, The Letter, Pomp and Circumstance, My Generation, Theme from the Monkees, Love Me Do, Old Lang Syne, Rocky Road to Dublin, Taps, Eruption, Got to Get You Into My Life, Mellow Yellow, Revolution. This motion picture used sustainability strategies to reduce its carbon emissions and environmental impact. Green is universal. Copyright 2015 Universal Studios, all rights reserved. Animated Universal Studios logo copyright 2013. Universal Studios is the author of this motion picture for purposes of the Berne Convention and all national laws giving effect thereto. This motion picture is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, or exhibition may result in civil liability and criminal prosecution. The characters and events depicted in this photoplay are fictitious. Any similarity to actual persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental. This film has been described by the Media Access Group at WGBH with funding from Universal Pictures, read by Gailey Heidemann. For more information about motion picture access, visit our website at access.wgbh.org. Wearing the Hypno hat, Stuart plays the red guitar. Kevin holds a triangle. Bob plays a bubble wand with his tongue. Bob pockets the bubble wand and pulls out candy. The candy spills everywhere. Stuart shakes his head. Bob tries to catch a piece in his mouth. The sewer rat nibbles a piece and runs toward us. Bob chases the rat, and the rat chases a yeti. Kevin and Stuart run away as Bob feeds a fish to a bear, then pets it. A caveman chases the bear away. The caveman hits himself in the head. Stuart strums his guitar as dog-riding polo players trample Kevin. Chasing a bee, Bob blows bubbles at us. Stuart hypnotizes the tower guards and they begin to dance. The keeper of the crown pokes Kevin with his cane, then bops him on the head and chases him off. The queen joins in with two men from the pub. The keeper stumbles by. All of the villains and officers join the dance. Scarlet and Herb join in. Gru and the Minion tribe arrive. Everyone runs away except Gru. He stares after them. The Tyrannosaurus roars directly at us. Gru cowers, then aims a gun. Nothing comes out.